Hi, this is Superior's affordable master level 48 watercolor pan set. It initially caught my eye because it has some design similarities to the Paul Rubens pan sets. I decided to buy it because I have been impressed with a product from Superior brand in the past, an accordion folding palette that had really nice paint quality. I was excited when I started seeing the set pop up on Amazon and AliExpress because it includes pigment information, and at first glance it appears to be a professional quality paint. Unfortunately, I was majorly disappointed with this set, and I wanted to warn you all about the quality issues I ran into. First, I started to notice some typos and mistakes on the labels. Some of these were as simple as missing a letter, but others have completely wrong pigment ingredient codes. This makes it really hard to know what you're actually painting with and if it's a toxic pigment. I had initially assumed that these were innocent mistakes, but there are also blatant misrepresentations, such as labeling the teal blues as cobalt turquoise when it's plainly made of a mixture of blue and white. These cheaper look-alike hues are pretty easy to spot as fakes because of the way they behave compared to genuine cobalts that have granulation texture and are a significantly different color. I'll show that in detail in a moment when I compare some of the colors between this set and Paul Rubens. The box represents these paints to be transparent, which is ideal for layering and glazing techniques. Most of the colors in this set are opaque though, meaning the colors cover up anything below them. Even pigments that are not normally opaque in other brands show up on dark papers. When layering opaque paints, the color mostly stays the same no matter how many layers you put down. Transparent colors can be layered to achieve a deeper, darker color each layer, which really gives you more value ranges in your paintings. This set may be tempting as an alternative to Paul Rubens' 48 pan set because it costs about $20 less, but it is definitely worth it to upgrade. Paul Rubens actually uses genuine cobalts, cadmiums, higher quality and other more costly pigments. Both sets should be considered slightly toxic and not ideal for kids that might handle the paints. Superior's paints are simply inferior in comparison to Paul Rubens, not just for the pigments used, but how finely they are ground into a powder before being turned into paint. Most of the Superior colors have a gritty, streaky texture, as well as having what appears to be a lesser quality binder, which results in a lack of flow when using these paints wet on wet. If you were looking at this set as an option because of price, I would instead recommend the even cheaper set known as Pretty Excellent. It's quite a good value for learning watercolor painting, with the downside that there are some fugitive colors. Though, because of the mistake in the Superior set's pigment list, you can't assume that these are lightfast either. I'll put links in the description for this and alternate set recommendations. Having said all that, I will touch on some of the bright sides of the set. And if it's something you already bought, don't panic, you can still make it work for you. It's just not the best thing available. There are a few beautiful floral pinks and purples, and when working wet on dry, it was less likely for colors to noticeably separate into a gritty texture. I could see this set being used for florals, and as you saw in the color chart, there are quite a lot of vibrant colors if you want to use them in mass tone to solidly color in large areas. I found that if I diluted layers mostly on dry with short strokes instead of broad wet washes, that the paint was manageable for achieving my intended end goal. Some of the grittiness in the greens and browns could be used to your advantage, such as the Naples yellow for sand. For my mercat or purr-maid drawing, I picked out some of the most well-behaved colors that I felt would work well for beach scenes and implying pearlescent fish scales. Overall, I think that the set has too many quirks and requires too much effort on the artist's part to make it work. I definitely recommend spending a little more for Paul Rubens or the White Nights 36 pan set if you're looking for an affordable entry-level quote-unquote master's set. If you're less concerned about light fastness, then you can't really beat the Pretty Excellent set, which is about half the price of this, yet performs so much better. I'll write more about those sets in the description below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and as always, I appreciate your feedback. If you'd like to see more, you can find all of my detailed swatch card images, results from my independent lightfast testing, and other art supply reviews on my website. I'm currently building a huge pigment database where thousands of colors can be compared side by side with paint from other brands. Updates about this project, along with line art drawings and high-res color scans, are also available on Patreon. Thanks for watching.